Why is maintaining good employee relations important? Let's start by defining employee relations. Employee relations refers to managing the relationship between an employer and its employees. This involves fostering a positive work environment and addressing any conflicts or challenges that arise. For HR professionals, this role requires patience, empathy, and meticulous attention to detail. Taking on the responsibility of managing employee relations brings several key benefits and challenges that highlight its importance in any organization. These include building a positive work environment, helps to create a culture of respect, trust, and appreciation. Resolving conflicts, helps to resolve conflicts between employees and management or between employees themselves. Developing policies, helps to develop and enforce policies that are fair and consistent. Supporting employees, helps to support employees, address their concerns, and advocate for them. Onboarding new employees, helps to onboard new employees and ensure they are integrated into the company culture. Benefits. Improved communication, helps to improve communication between management and employees. Reduced conflict, helps to reduce or avoid conflict, which can lead to lower employee turnover and higher morale. Better performance helps to ensure employees are performing at their best. Starting an investigation interview in human resources requires preparation, professionalism, and adherence to organizational policies. Preparing for an interview is a critical step to ensure a smooth and effective process. By creating a structured plan to guide the conversation and investing time in preparation, you can establish a professional tone, gain clarity on the issues at hand, and foster a productive environment for honest and open communication. Understand the purpose. Clearly define the issue being investigated. This could be harassment, policy violation, misconduct, and others issues that may arise. Review relevant information. Collect and review all relevant documents, complaints, or evidence, paper, electronic, etc. Choose a neutral setting. Select a private, comfortable, and neutral location to avoid distractions. Away from people being able to listen. Prepare questions. Draft open-ended, unbiased questions to gather information without leading the interviewee. I will share with you some examples. Set expectations. Familiarize yourself with company policies and ensure legal and ethical considerations are met. Make sure you have a complete understanding of the policies or ask management for understanding if needed. Beginning the interview process can be achieved effectively by following a few key steps. Introduce yourself and others. Start with a friendly and professional tone. Introduce yourself and any other participants, e.g. note-taker or HR colleague. Explain everyone's role in the process. State the purpose. Clearly explain the reason for the interview. We are conducting this interview as part of an investigation into specific issue. The goal is to understand what happened and gather information to make an informed decision. Clarify confidentiality. Set clear boundaries about confidentiality. What we discuss here will be kept confidential as much as possible, but there may be circumstances where information needs to be shared as part of the investigation or resolution process. Discuss ground rules. Explain the format of the interview. I'll ask you some questions to better understand the situation. Please answer honestly and provide as much detail as possible. Let the interviewee know they can ask for breaks or clarification if needed. Assure non-retaliation. Reassure the interviewee. Example of a way to assure. Please know that the company prohibits retaliation against anyone involved in this investigation. Seek consent to proceed. Politely confirm if they are ready to begin. Example of a question. Do you feel ready to start, or do you have any questions before we begin? During the interview, you may need to follow several essential steps. Stick to the facts. Avoid speculation or emotional responses. Be impartial. Stay neutral and avoid leading questions. Leading questions can be problematic during a human resources HR employee investigation because they suggest or imply a particular answer, potentially compromising the integrity of the investigation. Here are 5 examples of leading questions. You were upset with your manager that day, weren't you? This question implies that the employee was upset, potentially influencing their response. You saw them take the item from the desk, didn't you? This assumes the individual saw the incident and suggests a specific observation. You knew that the company policy prohibited this action, right? This implies that the employee was fully aware of the policy at the time of the incident. Why did you let the argument escalate? This presumes the employee is responsible for escalating the situation. When they yelled at you, you felt threatened, correct? This suggests that the employee felt threatened, which might not align with their genuine feelings or recollection. Here are a few best practices. To avoid leading questions, use open-ended, neutral language such as, "Can you describe what happened that day? What did you observe during the incident?" This approach helps gather more accurate and unbiased information. Take notes, document responses accurately, or record the session. With consent, concluding the interview requires a thoughtful and professional approach. Summarize key points. Recap the main details shared by the interviewee for confirmation. Example of a statement you can say, "To ensure I captured everything accurately, let me summarize what you've shared so far." Provide them with next steps. Outline what will happen next in the investigation. Here's an example on how to transition. We will review the information you provided, along with other evidence, to reach a conclusion. You will be informed once a decision is made. Invite them to ask questions. Allow the interviewee to ask questions or share additional information. Thank them. Express appreciation for their time and cooperation by saying, "Thank you for sharing your perspective. Your input is valuable to this process." Document the session. Immediately finalize your notes or transcript for accuracy. By following these steps, you can ensure the investigation interview is conducted professionally and thoroughly. Follow-up after a human resources investigation is a critical component of ensuring that the process is effective, fair, and contributes to a positive work environment. Here are the key reasons why follow-up is essential. Ensures resolution of issues. Following up helps verify that the identified issues have been addressed and resolved appropriately. It ensures that any corrective actions or changes recommended during the investigation have been implemented. Builds trust and credibility. Demonstrating follow-through reinforces the organization's commitment to fairness, transparency, and employee well-being. It shows employees that their concerns are taken seriously, promoting a culture of accountability. Prevents recurrence. Monitoring the situation post-investigation helps identify if similar issues arise again. It allows for proactive adjustments to policies or procedures to prevent recurrence. Supports affected parties. Follow-up provides an opportunity to check in with affected employees, ensuring they feel supported and heard. It helps in identifying any lingering concerns, offering additional resources, or addressing related issues. Evaluates effectiveness of actions. It ensures that disciplinary measures, training programs, or other interventions have had the desired impact. Regular reviews allow for adjustments to improve outcomes if necessary. Reduces legal risks. Proper follow-up demonstrates compliance with legal and organizational policies, which can mitigate potential liabilities. It provides documentation showing that the organization took all necessary steps to address the issue. Improves workplace culture. Employees feel more confident in raising concerns when they see investigations followed by meaningful action. This fosters a safe and inclusive work environment, enhancing overall morale and engagement. From many sources, here are some best practices for follow-up. Communicate outcomes clearly. Ensure all relevant parties understand the results of the investigation and next steps. Monitoring progress. Regularly check that agreed actions are being implemented and are effective. Document follow-up efforts. Maintaining records of all follow-up actions to ensure accountability and provide evidence if needed. Seek feedback. Solicit input from involved parties to understand their perspectives on the investigation process and outcomes. Review policies and training. Use findings from the investigation to identify areas where additional training or policy updates may be required. By prioritizing follow-up after an HR investigation, organizations demonstrate their commitment to resolving issues and creating a workplace culture of fairness and respect. The importance of documentation during human resources investigations. Documentation plays a crucial role in ensuring the integrity, fairness, and effectiveness of human resources (HR) investigations. Proper documentation is vital for the following reasons: establishing a clear record of events. Purpose: documentation creates an accurate timeline and record of all events, ensuring consistency and transparency. Benefits: it helps to track what actions were taken, who was involved, and what evidence was gathered. Ensuring legal compliance. Purpose: many workplace investigations involve compliance with employment laws, regulations, or company policies. Benefits: comprehensive documentation demonstrates that the organization followed legal and ethical procedures, which is critical in case of litigation or regulatory audits. Supporting decision-making. Purpose: documentation provides factual information to guide fair and impartial decisions. Benefits: it reduces subjectivity and ensures decisions are based on evidence, not opinions or assumptions. Protecting all parties involved. Purpose: proper records help protect the rights of both the accuser and the accused. Benefits: it minimizes bias, ensures confidentiality, and fosters trust in the investigation process. Reducing organizational risks. Purpose: clear documentation reduces the risk of miscommunication or errors that could harm the company's reputation or finances. Benefits: it shows due diligence and may protect against claims of negligence or misconduct. Facilitating future references. Purpose: documentation provides a reference point for future investigations or policy reviews. Benefits: it helps in identifying patterns of behavior or systemic issues within the organization. Enhancing accountability. Purpose: written records hold individuals accountable for their actions and statements. Benefits: this promotes a culture of responsibility and integrity within the workplace. Best practices for documentation. Be objective, stick to facts, and avoid personal opinions. Be detailed. Include dates, times, names, and direct quotes when possible. Be consistent. Use standardized templates or formats. Ensure confidentiality, protect sensitive information, and limit the access to authorized personnel. Regularly update records, document all developments in a timely manner. Effective documentation is not just an administrative task. It is a cornerstone of a thorough, fair, and legally compliant HR investigation. It safeguards the organization and its employees, ensuring justice and transparency in resolving workplace issues. Open-ended questions encourage the interviewee to provide detailed and comprehensive responses. Below are examples of open-ended questions tailored for an HR investigation interview. Example questions to gather for general information. Can you describe what happened in your own words? What led up to the situation or incident? How did you first become aware of this issue? Can you walk me through the events of specific date or time? Were there any prior incidents that you believe are connected to this situation? Getting more details about the incident. Who else was present when this occurred? What specifically was said or done during the interaction? What did you observe or experience during the situation? How did you feel about what happened? Were there any actions taken immediately after the incident? To see if there are other witnesses and evidence. Can you think of anyone else who might have witnessed this or has relevant information? Do you have any emails, documents, or other materials that might be helpful for this investigation? Have you spoken to anyone else about this situation? If so, what was discussed? To get an understanding context and perspective from the person being interviewed. How has this situation impacted you or your work? What do you think caused this situation? Are there any patterns or ongoing behaviors you've noticed related to this incident? What would you like to see happen as a resolution? Clarifying behavior and intent from the people being interviewed. What do you believe the intent of person involved was during the incident? Can you describe any prior interactions with person involved? How did person involved react during or after the incident? Asking if they are aware of our policy and procedure. Were you aware of our company policy on the relevant topic, harassment, workplace conduct? Do you feel you've been supported in raising concerns or reporting issues? For follow-up and/or additional information you might have missed. Is there anything else you think we should know about this situation? Are there other incidents or concerns that you believe are important for us to address? Do you have any suggestions for how we can prevent situations like this in the future? These questions are designed to allow the interviewee to share their perspective fully and provide details that may be critical to the investigation. Always adapt the questions to the context of the specific case while maintaining neutrality and professionalism. Here are the 5 top takeaways from this HR investigation training. First, takeaway preparation is key. Before starting an investigation, ensure thorough preparation by understanding the purpose, reviewing relevant information, preparing unbiased questions, and adhering to organizational policies and legal requirements. Proper preparation sets the foundation for a fair and effective investigation. Second, takeaway conducting professional interviews. Interviews should be impartial, respectful, and focused on gathering facts. Establish confidentiality, clarify ground rules, and avoid leading questions. Document responses accurately to maintain the integrity of the process. Third, takeaway is the importance of documentation. Accurate and detailed documentation is essential to create a clear record of events, support decision-making, ensure legal compliance, and protect all parties involved. Utilize standardized templates and maintain confidentiality to enhance reliability. Fourth takeaway is that follow-up actions matter. Effective follow-up ensures the resolution of issues, evaluates the effectiveness of actions taken, and reinforces trust in the investigation process. Regular follow-ups also reduce the risk of recurrence and improve workplace culture. And finally, open-ended questions drive insight. Using open-ended questions during interviews encourages detailed responses and helps uncover critical facts and perspectives. Tailor questions to the context while remaining neutral and professional to ensure comprehensive information gathering. These takeaways emphasize the importance of preparation, professionalism, and follow-through in conducting HR investigations.